Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of Digital Teaching Talk, a faculty-centric podcast around teaching in a digital environment. It's brought to you by SHSU Online. My name is Jacob Spradlin. I'm the Associate Director for Instructional Technology Support Services inside our Online Operations Unit. The first couple of episodes are going to be dedicated to the upcoming upgrade and facelift for Blackboard to Blackboard Learn Ultra Base Navigation. So like the title screen said, this particular podcast is all about that base. So the next little while will be dedicated to walking you through some of the new things that are coming along with the Ultra Base Navigation, and then a little bit of a demo. But I want to start right out front by letting you know that while the landing page for Blackboard may be changing starting May 23rd, your courses don't have to. Your courses can stay in the original flavor, and in fact, by default, they will be. So, without that being said, we're gonna move on. So let's talk about Blackboard Ultra and base navigation. Again, my name is Jacob Spradlin. I work for Sam Houston State University Online. I've worked for Sam almost 25 years, and I would consider myself an e-learning evangelist because I like to connect instructors with tools and methodologies and practices that will help them in their teaching endeavors. I am Blackboard certified, and as you can tell with my Meghan Trainor reference earlier, I am a lover of dad jokes and bad puns. If you need to reach out to me after this presentation, feel free to email me at spradlin@shsu.edu or call me at 936-294-3929. So, coming in the summer of 2022, Blackboard Ultra Base Navigation. So, starting Saturday, May 20th, Blackboard will be getting an upgrade and a facelift. Blackboard Learn is mission critical for students and faculty in our shared services partnership. Starting summer 2022, we're going to introduce a new streamlined landing page in Blackboard Learn that allows students and instructors to more easily access important course information, including course materials, grades, assignments, and activities and notifications and relevant links. The good news is a lot of this can be displayed in an activity feed, much like you get from LinkedIn or other digital properties out there. The Ultra experience itself is comprised of the Ultra Base Navigation, the original course view, and the Ultra course view. But for this presentation, it's all about that base, or in this case, base navigation. Base navigation offers instructors and students a more modern, intuitive navigation that provides quick access to the most critical information from across all courses. It creates a more engaging, efficient, and enjoyable experience for students and instructors. There are some benefits of turning it on. One, it's modern, it's intuitive, it's responsive on mobile devices. So whatever device the student or instructor comes in on, it's going to display in the way that's best for them. Another main key, I would say, benefit would be its consolidated cross-course information. Think of it as like a dashboard where you get quick access to the most critical information. You can start grading right from landing inside Blackboard or respond to a student in any one of your courses. Just one click is all it would take. It's also mobile first. It's designed with mobile in mind, right? So that modern and intuitive experience helps to improve user efficiency in the regular environment, but also in the mobile environment. It aggregates what's important into one global view. So from one page, you can get access to grades, messaging, courses, calendar, updates, and alerts that we'll talk through as we continue through this presentation. So let's begin by talking about the institution page. This is the landing page that you come onto when you land in Blackboard, the Ultra Base Navigation that you'll have access to starting May 23rd. It's a one-stop shop for important SHSU information. It takes the place of what we previously saw with all of our tabs and that sound and fury that was all of that information. It's used to communicate to different constituencies, just like the old one, and it's branded based on the user's role in Blackboard Learn. So what we're looking at right now is a student view for Sam Houston State University's entrance in Blackboard Learn. Keep in mind that the graphics that you see in this presentation may not be the finalized graphics you see in the landing page going forward. This is just something that we're using to give you this presentation. It replaces those tabs and modules and gives you a clean looking interface. So we're starting at the institution page. Were I to look down here on the left, when you land in Blackboard after logging in, you'll see your navigation elements on the left, and there's content here. Navigation elements include the institution page that we land on, your profile page, an activity stream where you get to your courses, your organizations, your calendar, messaging, grades, a dashboard for grades across all of your courses, tools, and then signing out. So looking here, you can see a module that was delivered to faculty, staff, and students, followed by another module that's delivered to just students with relevant, important links for students to get access to. So that's the institution page. Let's talk more about the profile page, which is next, and then we'll go straight into activity stream and courses. When you click on your name or the profile page, you get access to a place where you can really start to look at editing your online persona. Editable items will show a pencil when you hover over them. So that's kind of nice. You'll see in just a second, I'll show you what that looks like. But this particular page includes a profile photo, language, privacy settings, navigation settings, and more. For instance, were I to want to change my picture, I would just hover my mouse over the picture until the pencil showed up, and then I could go and change it. The uploaded photo is nice because it shows in the course homepage where the instructor sits, your activity stream, applicable locations in your courses, your grade center, discussions, all over. And another great benefit of the new Ultra interface, the ability to add in pronouns for your social profile. And instructors will really like this, the idea that you can have a phonetic spelling of your name, a pronunciation, as well as adding in a audio pronunciation. So when I click on add pronunciation, it will let me spell it out phonetically, as well as have an audio version of my pronunciation. Imagine, if you will, you're not sure how to pronounce a student's name. You can go into their roster, look at their profile, and hear it in their own voice. A tremendous value add there, right? So moving on, let's talk about that activity stream. That activity stream is going to be, honestly, where you and your students will probably spend a good amount of time. It contains up-to-the-minute action on the most important info for all of your courses. It's grouped into 4 categories that we're going to break down. And the neat thing is that students will always see reminders about overdue work in the important section, or that first thing that shows up at the top. It kind of spurs them on. It engages them. So let's talk about that. You'll see you've got important, today, recent. Those are the categories that we're talking about. So you see here is a student view. They can go in and view their grade. However, if an instructor sees something that's a student turned in a grade, you can jump straight into grading that activity. So the important category for students shows overdue assignments, tests, and graded activities, as well as messages from you, the instructor. The instructor sees course messages from co-instructors and TAs. A number of important items will show up next to the activity stream button. What I mean by that is that number is where I had to come back a couple of steps and look here on the activity stream. A number will show up right there, and you'll see how many of the important items you need to do. Items that you dismiss from your activity stream don't show back up. So if you want to keep them there for a little while, do not dismiss them. The other category that we're looking at is upcoming. Upcoming shows the top 5 events for the next 7 days, and it doesn't appear if nothing matches the criteria. You can always click Show More to see the full list of upcoming dates. The today is pretty self-explanatory, everything happening and due in the next 24 hours, as well as announcements for the institution and the course. The last category we'll talk about is recent. Recent is kind of a catch-all. When you haven't checked in a while, it's going to say, hey, there's some things that you haven't looked at and what you haven't seen. And instructors posted some things. So there's been some replies to your posts, stuff like that. So these things show up here. Next, speaking of these notifications that you see here, these are part of that notification process that you would normally get, remember, in Blackboard, that overnight email. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But what triggers these things to show up on my activity stream? What triggers these notifications? Well, for students, you can see this is a nice list here. Activity, grades being posted, new things in courses, new courses, course messages or replies, due dates, events, really important, engaging things. And then for instructors, content added by a fellow instructor, new posts or entries, items ready for grading, course messages and replies, as well as things like students falling behind, alerts to engage you to get in and reach out to that student. Again, conveniently posted and accessible on the main landing page in Blackboard. Another efficiency added for you as the instructor. So let's talk about these activity stream options and how we can actually change what we see. Within the activity stream, you'll, up at the top right-hand side, there'll be a way for you to filter what you're looking at, but also where you can come in and change your settings. The settings you can get access to here allow you to change what you see in the stream, emails, and push notifications. And you can choose the kinds of things you want to show up there. So after activity stream, that next on that list, that navigation menu on the new Blackboard landing page was courses. And folks, let me tell you, this is possibly one of the neatest new things about Blackboard, is how it displays your courses. It's very convenient, and actually it kind of solves a problem that we've had in the past. The rhyme or reason of how courses were showing up sometimes didn't work out in terms of the alphabetic way they were shown. But now they're shown by the course name. The name of the course it's alphabetical order. They're organized. You can organize them by term, past, present, future courses. The default is current courses. It's organized by semester. You can also favorite your favorite courses and move them to the top of the list by clicking. There'll be a grayed out star that you click to make purple, and it will move them to the top. It then gives you two views. On the top left hand is the list view. On the right is the grid view. The grid view is very nice because it gives you kind of a preview. It lets you see the course name, an image that's pulled from the banner inside the course. It kind of gives them that shopping cart view of their courses. Another neat little innovation in terms of Blackboard. One more important thing is there is already a search mechanism right there. So they can search for a course by typing in a name, and it will bring it right to the top of their view. Very nice. And your view, mind you. Organizations work the same way as courses, the same types of views. So let's talk about your calendar. Your calendar, another neat tool, allows you to view course events and due dates. The students can. They're color-coded by course, and I'll walk you through what this looks like in a brief demo. You can also add your own personal events. Even adding external calendars or organized by day and monthly view. Here we are, the idea that I can add an event with the plus icon. It lets me add it or edit good things for myself, for my courses. I can drag or drop a day to move the due date on it, for example, just like I could in the original Blackboard. Settings gear allows me to go in and essentially calendar details to display. I can choose those. Or I can bring in a calendar, like an external calendar, an ICS file, and make it part of what I'm looking at as far as my personal calendar in Blackboard. So we've gone through the institution page. We've looked at the profile, right? We've looked at your activity stream. We've talked about courses and organizations, and then calendar. Well, now we're going to talk about an old friend that we used to have at the very early days of Blackboard, but we kind of got rid of it because it was a little clunky, but it's gotten a lot better, and so we're bringing the band back together, and that is course messages. You and your students can send messages to each other, multiple people, groups, or an entire class via this messages tool. Messages activity remains inside the system. And you don't have to worry about email addresses that may be incorrect, outdated, or inboxes that are full. We receive this problem a lot. Or I would also see where how can I track to see if my message was sent or a message was sent? There's no proof of it. Well, Blackboard keeps that proof in the messages system. As an instructor, you can quickly send messages to all students about important deadlines and schedule changes. You can also send as an email. The messages button lets you go to take a look at all your courses and then add a message in the course that's appropriate. And I'll show you that in real time as we look at our courses. So that's kind of a neat thing. These messages obviously show up in the activity stream so that you're engaged to go and interact with them there as well. So those are messages. Let's talk about grades. This, I think, at least for my benefit, for the grading that I do, super beneficial. it takes all the courses that I'm teaching and shows me the current courses and organizations and lets me grade them a la dashboard. So it shows me if I have anything to grade across all of my courses in one spot. I mean, it's like, oh, it's just a nice thing to have, right? So it displays those items you need to take action. It shows the items ready to grade or overdue. It will even show you the average course grade. And the links take you directly to your grade center in the original course view or the grade book in the ultra course view. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts. I'm wondering if you guys are ready to actually look at the institutional landing page and all this ultra base navigation to start with. Are we ready? All right, then let's do it. So let's move on down and take a look at the ultra base navigation. What you're looking at here, again, things may change by the time we get to the May 23rd date, but the navigation items won't. The way this works won't, but the graphics might change depending upon. I have to put that caveat in there. So what we're looking at here is the landing page, the institution page for Blackboard Ultra Base Navigation. It's the same Blackboard. Your original courses are showing up behind it. This is just the place that they land has changed. And I think you and your students will find that it's going to be very nice, very beneficial. So let's start with, I am looking here on my screen, right? You see I'm on the left-hand side in the navigation menu. We're on that institution page. You will see here that I've got a module that shows up. That this one is a module that goes out to all students, faculty, and staff. The next module is actually a faculty-facing module called Faculty Central. You will remember that this was its own tab inside Blackboard. Now we're trying to keep you in one place. We're trying to let you have access to everything you need while still being in one place. So here we are at the Faculty Central. You'll notice here that I have access to the technical support 24/7, the support desk. Our support organization that gives me access to how-tos and other great things. Finding my instructional designer. We're always wondering where they are, right? So we can locate them and contact and communicate with them. Beyond that, the digital teaching webinar sign up so you can go and learn more about these new ultra tools that you have access to. And then more? Oh my gosh, there's more. But wait, there's more. When I click on that show all, it will pop out with even more links that I have access to. Again, the same thing in the Student Central. I can come down and hit show all, and it's right there. So again, some great tools that I have access to, great things that I have access to right on my institution page. Remember, I can still communicate to different constituencies with need, but we're also going to leverage other tools to help you with that as well. So that's the institution page. Let's talk about that profile page. Let's talk about my presence inside Blackboard, right? So looking at that profile page, you will notice here that it's got a picture at the top that when I put my mouse on it, a pencil shows up so I can go and change. Were I to click it, it pops up right on that same page, and I can come in and change that picture and upload a new one. That's my film noir picture, by the way. I'm going to change it. I just kept it there for fun's sake. Now, as we look at this profile page, we see things that are kind of neat. What? Add pronunciation? Hold on. Click that. Oh, well, I can actually type in phonetically, the phonetic spelling of my name. I can also add in, I already have it there, but I can record how my name sounds being pronounced so that my instructors know that Jacob is not Jacob or Jacob, Jacob. Kind of nice. As an instructor, oh my gosh, I could have used that multiple times, right? So another cool, neat feature that you can do. Then there are the pronouns that I can come in and add in for myself to represent me. So as the instructor, I know how to address you. Again, done is there. I can also get to my notification settings here just to show you right there. But I wanted to give you that information so you could see it. Now let's go to your activity stream. For me, that activity stream, I've got a lot of weird courses in here, so it's not going to be as relevant, but I want you to know, the thing I want you to know about the activity stream, as were I to have an important update, it'd show up at the top, and it would let me know, and I would jump in and get to it. Today, I've got things that I've got 2 students falling behind here in this, so I need to go in and check out and see how they're doing, right? These are kind of little engagers for me. It lets me get in and look at my course. Beyond that, if something that I needed to grade showed up, I could get in and do that as well. It would let me know that something was there to grade. I would click on it. It would give me access. Again, really neat things. Messages show up here, right? Someone replied to a discussion post. That's going to show up here. Again, one-click dashboard access to all of my interactions across all of my courses in one place. Efficiency upon efficiency. So let's take a look at our courses, shall we? What you're looking at here is the grid view of my courses. Again, I could go to my list view and they would show up and I could click them to get access. But I did want to show you that even though, and I'm going to go back here to this guy, even though I'm in Ultra Base Navigation and everything looks, like the Love Boat said, exciting and new, I can actually go down to a regular Blackboard course. Click it, and it will open up and look like a regular Blackboard course that you're used to. And I can get in and add content the way that I would normally do, interact with my students the way that I would normally do. Again, this is the same. You don't have to jump to the Ultra course view if you don't want to. We're allowing instructors to adopt it as they would like. So anyhow, I just wanted to make sure I stress that with you. Now, going on, courses, they get access to. And remember, I can click on a star to move that course to the top of my list, to my favorites. Beyond that, I can go to upcoming courses that are coming in the future. I can change my term. I can drop down and look at the terms that I want to have access to. And then I can search for a course. So if I just type in a word, every course that had that word in it's going to show up. Kind of nice, kind of neat. Another efficiency that I love, especially for those of us that have been with Blackboard for a while and just might have a couple of courses on our course list. Organizations work the same way. So I'm not going to bother going into that same spiel, but I can filter just like I could with the courses, with courses I teach, courses I participate in, open, all those types of things. I have things I can look for, right? I can change with my courses or orgs how many that I display on a page at one time. Another wonderful thing. So calendar, showing you the calendar. This is where if I wanted to change it to a monthly view, I could look in and say, oh, okay, cool. I have some things here that are due and they're color coded by the course that I'm involved in. Nice. Since I'm an instructor, I can actually take and drag events that if I want to from one page to another. Whoops, I'm not the instructor of that course, so I can't drag it. But I'm going to come back. But anyway, it's just a nice option that I have here, right? Again, I can go back to day view. I can look for just due dates. I can sort by due dates or the full schedule. I can add by clicking the add and add an event. I can come to my cog up here and get access and show which calendars I actually want to see at one time. I could clear them all, or using the ellipses up here, the 3 dots, I can add a calendar or share my calendar. Now, remember in old Blackboard, that gray V, the chevron, if you will, was the way that I edited things in Blackboard. In the new Blackboard, just look for the 3 dots. That's where I go to edit. But anyway, those are my calendar settings. Now let's talk about messages, shall we? Messages are the bee's knees as far as I'm concerned, the way they work now. If I were to click here, it would then show all of my courses, right? I could scroll in here and you would see all of my courses that I've got going on, right? I could scroll all the way down and go to a course that has messages, right? And so, you know what? I want to go here and add a message and click on the plus sign for that course. It would bring up an interface where I could type in a name of a person who is in that course, or I could send it to all course members. Come in and type in that message. The neat thing is I could add in a YouTube video. I could bring in, and I could add an attachment. I could do something from the cloud. I could bring in a Vimeo video or anything that's out there, right? A YouTube video, as simple as me coming in here and typing in a name and adding a video, inserting it. And now hey, I thought this was a great video. Then when I'm ready, I could choose to allow, if I want to keep a discussion going, I could choose to allow replies to this message since I'm the instructor. I could also choose to send an email copy beyond just sending it inside Blackboard, which would notify them. I could also send it via email and they'd have access to it. Again, a neat feature to quickly get in touch with my students. It alerts them when they get it in that activity stream and they're over, and they're, I'm going to close, in their overnight email that they get from Blackboard. It even shows up as a little numbered thing here on, I've got new messages. I need to click and see those. And it alerts me that I've got messages. That is so cool, right? Okay, those are messages. Grades. So right now I have a lot of courses and they're not going to load that fast because I literally have hundreds of courses. But were I to scroll down to some other courses where I have stuff to grade, oh gosh, look, I've got 7 things I need to grade. And I'm getting it as a dashboard. I'm getting it in one place. I'm not having to dive into the course and figure out and look at the needs grading. I get my needs grading outside of all of my courses. Again, building in that efficiency, that thing that reduces the amount of time I'm spending not teaching, right? So that being said, I wanted to show you, and clicking here will actually take me right to the grade center for that course, if it's an original course. So that's pretty much it. Tools are going to be a list of the kinds of the tools that you have access to, like our Quickly tool or a Kaltura tool, things like that. Things that your role allows you to have access to. So I did want to give you that. That being said, folks, that is our presentation. That is Ultra Base Navigation. This presentation doesn't dive anywhere else. It's just all about that base navigation. Feel free to check out our Ultra Transition website. And also look for my emails. You're going to get them from me bi-weekly. We have webinars being offered all the time around this Ultra Transition. Our newsletters, emails, social media posts, other newsletters across campus, and other presentations that you'll see us do across campus as we move through the spring, the summer, and into the fall. So once again, I'm Jacob Spradlin for SHSU Online. Thank you for being a part of our debut episode of Digital Teaching Talk. And indeed, I hope you know a little bit more about that base navigation.